So yeah, we had a few of the liqueurs you stuck with cherry. I tried the maracuja, the passion fruit, as well. And yeah. About that time, I think the band started playing.
Yeah.
Welcome to episode 6 of the Nomad Things podcast, the real story of digital nomading as a family. In this episode, we'll talk about our favourite food memories in Madeira.
So yeah, food memories are different from delicious foods. I've had so many delicious things in so many countries, but all the ones I remember and all the ones, you tell us your little tales. It doesn't have to be the best food. It just has the best memory attached to it.
Yeah, it's all about the experience, who you were with, where you are, what's happening around you, not exactly the food itself.
No. It could be an exploding squid on a Cambodian beach. It could be the rock oyster bar in Sydney Harbour.
Oh, yeah.
Or blue swimmer crab overlooking, or blue mariner shrimps in Hong Kong.
Yum. So when we were looking at coming here, we're like, we know a little bit about Portuguese food. We've both been to Portugal before, but not terribly much, and not especially about Madeiran food.
No. So looking ahead of time, you look up what food is Madeira famous for. Because Madeira wine you hear of, and Madeira cake, which isn't from Madeira, but never mind.
Yeah.
It just has Madeira poured on it. So there's the espetada, the scabbard fish, which everyone says, have it with banana, but I think it's a joke.
Or passion fruit.
I think that's a joke. I don't. We haven't tried it.
Don't want to.
I think that's a tourist joke.
And the espetada, the big meat skewers.
I think that's the things you hear about.
Yeah, that's what we found most, wasn't it? More researching.
They don't sound that exciting. To be fair, sorry Madeiran, sorry Portugal. It doesn't sound exciting if you don't really know about food. Luckily, know about food.
Got a bit of experience in that department.
And if you say to me, what we do is we get some beautiful local produce, we season it, and we chuck it on fire, and we know how to cook that. We char it, we smoky goodness, and we just put it on your plate.
Not scared of salt.
It may sound, it's not very exciting, but we know it's going to be delicious.
Yeah.
And it has been. It's exactly that. So when you're walking around Bungchow, the restaurant quarters, you'll see as Alfie calls them, the gold-trimmed waiter places just up from the promenade. And I'm sure that's delicious, but way past our budget.
Yeah, we don't want to be spending that money on what's not going to be a great experience, to be honest.
No. And it's all salmon shirt-wearing guys and corduroys and man bags and...
You'd love a man bag.
Yeah, I'd love to be that guy. But yeah, it's. I'm sure it's delicious, but it is going to cost 4 times the amount we'd be willing to pay. And for what?
And one of the more famous streets in Funchal is Rua de Santa Maria, also known as the Art of Painted Doors. Open doors. Art of open doors.
Which is weird because you wouldn't be able to see it if the doors were open.
Yeah, all the doors have also murals painted on them, so it's worth visiting just for that.
As you walk along the centre, it's very narrow. There's a table either side. And as you walk through there, every door has a mural painted in a different style, and the cafe umbrellas are over. It's lovely.
Yeah, really, really nice. So we walk up there quite a lot.
Nosing at what people are eating and watching them, and they never look very interested or happy. And the food looks like, let's face it, the kind of overpriced stuff you'd expect it to be. So
we like to just walk through there for the general atmosphere, which is cool. But we carry on up to the far end, right at the top. There's one of our favourite places called Annabelle. It's a snack bar. Doesn't look like much, just on the corner. May have mentioned their food before. But the owner there is lovely, especially if you try to speak some Portuguese.
He's like everyone's favourite granddad. He's like a really gruff trawlerman looking thing. You know, he's had a hard life, and he's got a little twinkle in his eye. And he asks you most of the time, what do you ordered? And you have to tell him. He's like, oh, yeah, I remember. You could tell him anything. And, and then he gets a piece of paper out, and he does old-fashioned long addition to work it out, and it's never quite right. And you have to sort of say, no, that's not 12 euros. That's 14 euros. And he just laughs.
Yeah. But we get nice seafood sandwiches there. An octopus sandwich or a scalyfish espetada sandwich. Alfie likes the tuna. Couple of beers and a juice for Alfie, and it's brilliant.
The seafood comes usually with like an escabeche kind of marinade with it, vinegary, oniony, capsicum, red peppery, and nom. It goes so well with the salty fish. And the fresh bun, the yum. And you might have a little table if you're lucky, but it's usually just a leaner against the wall.
And for the three of us, we end up paying as much as you could be paying for one meal.
One plate.
Down the rest of just one main. Down the rest of Rua de Santa Maria.
So 3 seafood sandwiches, absolutely crammed with seafood. There's a lot of octopus on there, a big fish fillet, and then tuna.
Yeah, tuna.
Tuna, they eat it here like it's nothing. Oh, it's just a fish finger. Anyway, so crammed with that, really delicious. And the bread is absolutely delicious and fresh.
Bun.
And you have that with a beer, a big beer, delicious, and if you'll have a juice, 15 euros.
It's amazing value, and
you feel kind of good stood inside that place, all crammed in, the only ones who aren't locals in there. And you kind of go, oh, this was a bit scary. And you look out through the doors and you see tourists walk past and go, no, no.
So be brave and go in there.
It is probably the biggest takeaway. This is number one on our food memory. Well, yours. And we found it. We had to give ourselves a bit of a.
Said, I can do this. Walked in.
Luckily,
starving.
Luckily, it was lunchtime, so you had to pick your pants on.
I was ready.
So yeah, and then at the other end of the spectrum is Bela.
Bela Cinco. So it's just around the corner, really, from Annabelle.
Just for the record, we didn't just roll out of there and roll into there.
Yeah, no, it's a completely different day.
Yeah,
obviously.
Because when you finished Bela 5, you were rolling out of there.
Yeah, big meal. So I had actually looked up this place online before we went. It was meant to be affordable, but we ended up blowing a bit of money because we went for we splashed out on a mista de peixe, which is a mix of fish.
Yeah, well, saying a mix of fish isn't really fair. It's like a feast of fish.
And you have to share it between 2 people. We could probably have shared it between all 3, but
I wasn't going to share. I ate my half.
It's just very simple. We got like 7 or 8 different fish and some prawns, and all just very simply, plenty of seasoning.
But it was full of tourists, that one, so we're assuming the price is going to be a bit inflated. But never mind, we're hungry and we do like a seafood platter.
Yeah.
So it brings it out. Big plate seafood, whole in the shell, prawns on top, all these fish fillets underneath. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Kind of what we expected. No, that was mine.
Yeah.
Then came yours.
2 big plates of mixed seafood.
But yeah, this big seafood platter. Oh, I hoed into it. I'll just eat seafood all day long. Just hoed it. You, even though there's some chips on the side, but you think of this, it's just fresh salad and seafood fillets. So no carbs, none of that usual, potatoes and sweet potatoes and rice and all this that really bulks out a meal. No, just deliciousness. And even with that, just protein, no carbs.
I struggled.
Even you struggled. It was delicious tuna.
I know. I hoed into the first piece of tuna because it was absolutely delicious. And all the other bits. One word of warning though, you can't be too squeamish because you do get bits of fish head.
Oh, but that was delicious.
Yeah, the little cheeky bits and the bit just above their eye.
Cracking open the jawbone and sucking out that marrow and that juicy fish fat from the cheeks.
Yum.
Sorry, vegans.
Be brave, but it's really good.
So that one, that was more of a food memory.
More about the food.
Yeah,
I'd say that one than the place. Although the atmospherical little atmosphere was buzzing and it was full.
Yeah, it was full. We had to wait a couple of minutes for a table.
Yeah.
But yeah, that memory, sure, we've just explained how it's all the experience around it. But if someone brings you a mountain of seafood, that's going to remember it. Okay, so my favourite food memory does involve a mountain of food, but also a mountain. It's like a story encapsulating a delicious treat.
So we went to Nuns Valley, and as I mentioned before, we walked down from the Saradu viewpoint, and it's a big zigzaggy walk down the mountainside, and when you takes an hour or two, and when you get to the bottom, you're not actually in the village. You then have to walk back uphill. So when we eventually got to the village,
and it was a hot day.
It was a hot day, and we got to the village, and we were like, "All right, we need lunch." And I knew about a place, and I was like, "Oh, it's just the other side of the village. We'll head for that."
Yes.
But the other side of the village wasn't as close as you think it is. Well, it was only meant to be another K or two, but that was the other side of the valley.
Yes, with what's known as a mountain in the way. And the reason we weren't going to stop in the town was because you get into the town and you pop out from, you see anybody on the walk, you pop out and you're hot and you're bothered and you go, oh, I just need a drink, I just need food. Maybe we don't go to this potato place.
Oh, yeah.
It's just tourist hell.
Yeah, it was tourist hell. We didn't want to stop, even though we were on our last legs and I've only a little bit of water left. So we kept on walking
through rock falls.
Yeah, we got to a bridge and it had the remnants of some black and yellow do not pass kind of tape,
which looked like it had been officially ripped off and thrown on the ground.
But anyway, other people had obviously walked that way, so we kept going, and as Don said, there was a rock fall, but you could tell people had walked around the side of it, so it had been there a while. It wasn't completely fresh. So we had to get past that.
And this path isn't marked in any way, and it's cut through sort of the back alleys of the town, gone out through some narrow gullies, and we still don't know exactly where we're going. And we pop out, and you're still looking and going, oh, it's only a K from here now. We've done the first K. It's only a K from here. We go, up that mountain? Yeah. Do you see those distant couple of buildings up there, a couple of houses up there? Yeah. I think it's there. Vertical climb. That last 500-meter climb was vertical.
Yeah. And the only people we'd seen were four-wheel drive tours or canyoning trips, weren't they?
Yeah.
Out that side. So that's the kind of terrain I'm talking about.
We dropped down into this last real steep, really steep, even for Madeira, really steep, V-shaped valley. On this path, that's a nothing path. And we dropped down into that. And there's the guy from the canyoning company with all the four-wheel drive jeeps and the gnarly will take you to places, no one else can go. We come strolling past. We're going for lunch. And the guy looks shocked. He's like, oh, and he runs off to his car and he comes out and he's like, disco. And he hands over this leaflet for his four-wheel drive canyoning adventure. It's like, we're here. We're in the canyon.
Yeah. And I think at that point when we saw the last hill, we could see we were heading. And at that point there we're like, do we carry on? Do we just give up? This is getting a bit ridiculous.
It was really hot. And we were large dregs of water, really.
And still not 100% sure the place is actually going to be open, which would have been on my head.
Yeah. But there we were, probably that last part, probably 300 meters directly below the veranda.
Up the steps.
And we made it up, and we get there, and it's open.
Big sigh of relief.
It's open. So we go in. What's good? What should we have? We know it's this frittata. You don't ask, like, what dish should I have? It's just, what should I get with it?
How much should we get, the three of us?
Yeah. So she's there. Well, just get the chicken. That's good for 3. Medium potatoes and a salad. Brilliant. Sold.
We added the beef. Because, well, when I've read about espetada, it's always been about the beef. So I wanted to, wanted to have that as well.
So we said beef, and she said, that's probably only good for 1.5, 2 people. I said, brilliant. Just we'll have it as well as chicken. Which was, in some ways, you could say a mistake, but in other ways, I would say the best decision of our lives.
Yeah, it was really, really delicious. So the espetada, if you don't know it, the meat skewers that Madeira is quite famous for. Around here in Funchal, you see some restaurants offering it, but their skewers are usually like this long, and maybe that much is more of a handle.
Yeah, and they're metal.
Yeah, so you get this much meat. But the place we went to up in Carrara, the Nuns Valley.
That was some serious raw iron engineering. Yeah.
And the beef is on a laurel stick.
Yes.
They say stick, but it's kind of a branch.
Small sapling.
Yeah, so they're more like a meter kind of long, aren't they? So it's a lot of meat.
It's a lot of meat. And it was delicious.
Absolutely delicious.
He's there with a clay oven, charcoal's there, and he's just chucking in these huge. And when we say meat kebab, don't think of these little tiny little. No, this is
big chunks
of meat, sort of chicken quarters thrown on.
Yeah, it wasn't cubes of chicken at all. It was big chunks, quarters, thighs.
Chop. From chuck it in, super hot.
Yeah.
And then it's there on that stick in front of you, and it's just dripping, glistening with fat, just dripping. Oh.
And usually when you get something like that, the meat is the main event, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And you're not so bothered about the size, but unfortunately the sides were also super delicious. Bread, potatoes, sweet potato, which you and Alfie don't even like.
Don't like sweet potato, and I had a massive piece. It was delicious.
And a salad, just lettuce, tomato, chuck on your olive oil and vinegar, and that was all really nice too. So we had to eat that, because sometimes you can leave the sides because they're not that great. You're not worried about them, but we wanted to eat it all because it was also damn good.
If you ordered a beautiful steak, you'd be a fool to eat the potatoes first.
Yeah.
You go for the steak, but those potatoes and that. Yeah, as you say, I don't like sweet potato at all.
I love it.
God, it was good.
Really, really nice.
And I think it helps the fact that we thought we were going to die, and we might not have got lunch, and we were very hot and very tired.
And got a couple of beers as soon as we were there.
We literally walked out of the place, went around, found a table, sat down. Right, Alfie, go give me another beer.
Get yourself a juice while you're there.
You get a juice while you're there, because this one seems to have evaporated. Oh no, it was beautifully charred, still pink in the middle, and
seasoned.
Seasoned.
Not scared of seasoning.
So then we had to drag all the way back over that mountain.
Yeah, it was a lot quicker on the way back though, with a few beers and some delicious potato in our bellies.
Yeah, but dragging a fair amount of meat. But yeah, that's my number one food memory. Not just because of that. That food for me was even better than the seafood, and I love seafood. Yeah. That was insane. So that one was planned, gone wrong. Planned turned to unplanned chaos.
Turned good.
The next one was, I would say, would be Santa da Serra, the market, where we turned up on the bus, and it's a beautiful bus ride up into the mountains for this Sunday market.
Yeah, which is really well known and on the tourist trail.
Yeah, but it's known for some of its food. And so, yeah, okay, we'll turn up there. get the early bus, turn up. Nothing here, is there?
It's like 4 hours to fill until the bus back to Funchal, and we're just going, what have we done?
There's what, a dozen, I don't know, two dozen fruit veg stalls, some poncha bars that just empty and just, you know.
And it was cold and drizzly, and although the market itself is covered, we were all just a bit like bleh, and wondering what we were doing, and hanging out by the roast chicken man up front just for the warmth.
Yeah. Rotisserie chickens going, oh, this is lovely. But okay, so we're in there and there's not many people. It's sort of half opening because we're there early. And well, I see this food bar. Oh, they've got the carne de vinho verde. Is that right?
Carne de vinho dalio, meat with wine and garlic.
Yeah, that. It's basically pork marinated in white wine and garlic.
Lots of it.
And yeah, in a roll. That's us. All our food memories are in a roll. So it's hot and melt in your mouth. Pork fat that just dissolves in your mouth, and it's just, you must have been in heaven.
Yeah, it was absolutely delicious. So with that warming our bellies and making us a bit happier, we thought, well, we might as well go and try some of this famous poncha that Madeira is known for. So we walk around, do a little recce, and think, oh, that bar there looks good. The guys are there, they're squeezing the fresh juice, they're using the poncha stick to pound away and make the cocktails. And there's a few old ladies on the tables in front. They're obviously having a great morning.
Yeah, and at least in their 70s, sat down there. Your typical European widow looking, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of dark clothing, sat there, gassing away, hitting the rums. And that wasn't their first, because there were empty glasses on there.
Yeah. So we're like, well, okay, so that looks promising. So we ordered a couple of poncha there and an orange juice for Alfie, which he claimed later was the best orange juice of his life. And yeah, just even standing there watching them going through the whole process of making poncha was awesome.
Oh, every other place in there, bar one other, they just had plastic jugs or glass jugs pre-made. There it is, and you could go up and order one, and they just pour it out. This guy, he was a craftsman. He was doing it the proper way. So you order whatever you want, and I think I went the pescador first, the fisherman one, which is my favourite, citrusy. It's just lemon and lime, and rum. Rum.
Sprinkled sugar.
So he gets it, and in goes zest, the lemon zest. He's peeled that off. In go the whole big handfuls of that into a glass jug. Sugar, actual fruit he squeezes in there, and then he just pounds it away with that stick, and then pours in all the thing. And he's working at that for about 10 minutes. No, well, yeah, almost 10 minutes. 5 minutes definitely. Yeah. And you're thinking, gosh, that's quite a lot for 3 or 4 euros.
Yeah, it's a lot of effort for them, but amazing result.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely delicious. And so we had a first couple of ponchas, and you get a little plate of
breakfast poncha.
Breakfast ponchas. You get with all the ponchas and drinks, you get a little plate of snacks.
Datini. I'm still going for that.
Datini, and that one was the lupin seeds. So yeah, nice to pop away while you're drinking your poncha. And so yeah, at that point,
I don't know.
Things were starting to.
At that point, we say the market livened up. But I think we were livened up before the market got away, because at that point we were still only talking. Well, it's before 9.
Yeah, that's pretty early.
Pretty early. And we've had some breakfast ponchas now, because when you've had one, you may as well have another one. So we've had some breakfast ponchas, and the place has livened up.
Yeah, a lot more people seem to have turned up.
No, the place has livened up, and then I think some people turned up.
Yeah. But then we're like, should we go try another poncha place? As you know, we should try some others.
Yes.
And then we found some of the local liqueurs.
Yes. Well, we were looking for another poncha place, and as I said, the pre-made stuff was just not. Just wasn't happy about it. I haven't seen the guy go to all that effort, and it was delicious. I wasn't really fond of going for a pre-made
one.
And then we're like, oh, what are these bottles? And had a little look. Ginger. What's that now? Did you say cherry liqueur?
Yeah, two of your favourite things.
My favourite things combined. Yes, please.
And speaking of which, at the same place, Alfie had two of his favourite things combined. He had a bol de bolacha, which is basically a biscuit cake. Layers of biscuits stuck together to make a cake. So he was happy, and you were happy.
You could only describe it as a geological cake. It's got layers and layers and layers, and it's about the size of a mountain.
So yeah, we had a few of the liqueurs. You stuck with cherry. I tried the maracuja, the passion fruit, as well. And yeah. About that time, I think the band started playing.
Yes. About that point, there was music and dancing. And yeah, no, the place livened up. It was incredible. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, as we went back to the other poncha bar, and I went to another one where, well, actually, I had another ginger. And we had tripe as the little dentini.
Yeah, so
not tripe. No, it was offal.
Like kidneys and beans as well. So yeah, you get different little plates wherever you go. So it's a nice way to try different things. One of the other ones gave us milli frittu, the deep fried cornmeal
maize cubes.
Yeah. Which crunchy, delicious, deep fried. Obviously, gotta be good.
Well, at this point. It's all good.
I think we even sent Alfie back to get some more pork buns.
We had another. Yeah. We're starting to feel a bit cold then.
And he was smacked off on sugar, so he was happy to go off and be brave and bring those back for us.
Oh, he doesn't care about surly stuff. Just give me food.
Yeah.
So and there we were all of a sudden at that last one. Oh God, we've only got 5 minutes to get to the bus. Whereas we started the day, what are we going to do?
We're going to do for 4 hours, and then all of a sudden we had to rush for the bus.
So, that's just not one particular food, but just the whole
morning.
But having said that, that roll that with the marinated pork, and it was all fat. It was all the bits you wouldn't eat. It was all the bits you'd throw away stupidly.
Yeah. It was a super big, nice warm hug that we really needed there. And for sweet treats, the place we've been to the most, because 1, it's delicious, 2, it's cheap, 3, right there, it's easy, is Nata 7, which does, very simply, they do Portuguese custard tarts with a coffee or with a water, or with Madeira wine. We've never done that one. That wine. And it's super easy. Just a window there. You go and order, and you sit at the table on the footpath, and it's great.
It's so simple. Alfie can do it. He'll go up and order. They're friendly. There's the wee window. You grab what you want. You sit down, and you watch the world go by. And just happen to catch an Uber back if you've been shopping. Yeah,
it's also an easy place to pick up an Uber.
Yeah.
So, perfect. So, we've been there more often than not.
Yes. It's not our favourite bakery or sweet treat. There are places that do nicer things, but it has to get a mention just for the fact that we've had so many It's just waiting for a pickup of an Uber or something.
Yeah. And other places we've been that cost a bit more and aren't maybe so satisfying.
Yeah.
Alfie's like, oh, we could have just gone to Nata and had like 5 custard tarts there.
And every decision we make about money, do we go on the wicker baskets? It's €50 for us, and it doesn't look that great when you actually see it. We watch it every day. Does it look that great? €50, you're torn, and then he'll ship up and say, well, that's 50 Pastéis de Nata, and Nata 7. Yeah, can't fault his logic.
No, it's fair call.
It's a fair call. So now we have the Nata 7 price index.
Everything's judged on how many pistachio nuts you could buy.
So like the time he got the pistachio ice cream, it was extra, and it was good because it was pistachio, but it cost €5, and then he was more upset than anyone because I could have had 5 Pastéis de Nata. That's the Nata 7 price index.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not the best food, not even the best Pastéis de Nata.
But it's memorable.
Hope you enjoyed that. We are Nomad Things, and we'll be back next time with our final thoughts on Madeira and how much we spent for the month. In the meantime, if you like our content, hit the subscribe button, check out our blog at nomadthings.guide, and of course, follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely delicious, fatty, winey, garlicky, delicious, soft, melts in your mouth meat.
You don't even have to go on a creative writing course to get adjectives like this.